We're just making sure we got all our calls ready at noon. Since I'm going to call Darren Ferris, I'm going right to him. You guys got your talking points down?
Yep.
Good, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. Do you have Cody Eakin's agent cell phone in there? You'll call David K. on Davidson. Tobias Reeder's 1 year. Let's not mess around with that one. Let's make the offer and get it done. And if he doesn't accept it, then we move on. You know, Hall's a separate discussion.
You think it's real?
Oh, it's definitely real. Yeah. Whether it stays, because you don't know, you can't predict. The term's gonna be the biggest thing. I love it. Stelzy's all in. He's texting me. Let's go. Let's get better. They're still on. I'm gonna go down to that office. All right, I'll be back.
Is it noon?
Yeah.
Darren, Kevyn Adams calling from the Buffalo Sabres. Interested in Taylor Hall. Just kind of checking in what your process is going to be or what your thoughts are, but wanted to make sure you knew we'd be interested. Okay. Obviously, Ralph has a strong relationship from his previous years with him and knows him well, so that helps. Yeah. One thing on Taylor, Darren, is that we're not going to be interested in a long-term deal. So if that's something that he only wants, then I don't want to spin our wheels here. Yep, I get it. I can go anytime. What works for you? 1 p.m. Yep. Okay, sounds good. We'll talk to you at 1. Bye. Bye. So we have a 1 o'clock call set up with Taylor Hall. I'm gonna call Ralph now just to get prepared. Will you guys think about what we're prepared to do?
I can.
Hey Ralph, so we got this call at 1. The feedback from the agent was listening to everything. He'd like us to kind of present what we're looking for. He said this is not just about money or term, it's more about the environment, fit, obviously your relationship. So this will be important. This is where you'll probably need to really carry the day here.
Yeah, for him, culture will be important.
Yeah.
For him,
Yeah.
how close are we? And, with the depth that he would bring us and the level of player he is, for me, it just tips the scale. But,
Yep. Perfect. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, super.
Thanks. Bye. So we're waiting on Hall conversation at 1. Only thing that makes me nervous about Taylor Hall is it takes over the day and then we lose the other stuff. That's why you guys got to stay focused and get the other stuff done. How do we want to handle this at 1 o'clock?
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
if we signed this guy, we're not only trying to make the playoffs,
Well,
we're trying to win the cup.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor, what he's done on the ice in his career speaks for itself in terms of, MVP level player, world-class talent, former number 1 overall, speed, skill. What was deeper for us was Ralph had that previous relationship with Taylor that was very strong, coached him, got to know him as a person and the character and what he will bring to our locker room. So I guess that kind of sums up why we felt strongly that he'd be a great addition to the team.
Hi, this is Ralph.
Hey Ralph, you got Kevin, Kim, and Terry here.
Hey, just want to connect before we get on our 1 o'clock.
Really, this is set up for you, Ralph, to pitch him.
I'm ready.
Your relationship as the coach, what you see.
The hunger, like Jack, they would just be pushing each other. There'd be inside competition going on. At the same time, they would be both good teammates. That's what we would have.
Hello.
Darren.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. You got Kevyn Adams.
Taylor's on the line here with us. Kevin.
Taylor, how you doing today? It's Kevyn Adams, general manager of the Buffalo Sabres.
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. I just want to make sure you know we have Terry and Kim Pegula, our owners.
Hi, Taylor.
We have Ralph Krueger, our head coach, on the line, and myself and Mark Jakubowski from the hockey department. We appreciate you spending a little time with us. Obviously, Taylor, we know you're an elite player. We know the difference maker you are on the ice. It's really important here, the culture, the environment we're building. We just see the value that you bring on and off the ice. We're excited about the opportunity to spend a little time just talking this through. But I do want to turn it over to Ralph. I know you have a relationship, and he can just talk to you a little bit about it and give you his thoughts.
Hey Taylor, excellent to hear you. The first thing is that clearly the base of trust that we have would allow us to go right back to work. There have only been 2 players that I've coached that have the combination of elite skill and competitive level that is world elite, and that is you and that's Jack Eichel. Just the thought of the 2 of you together is phenomenal, and the power in that would be amazing. The team in general is much closer and better positioned to be successful than it might look at from the outside. You know, they're missing the tipping point, and the big one would be you. I mean, you added to that mix makes us an elite team immediately. The town of Buffalo, Taylor, has blown me away. I mean, it's like a Canadian market. It's a historical market. Walking in like you could here and being the tipping point, it would be just an exciting opportunity. That's just spontaneous out of my heart to you, and all the best as you process all the many different layers of information that are coming at you today, Taylor.
Thanks, Ralph. No, it's great to hear you talk as well, and as always, you know, you're passionate about what you do, and I can tell that you believe in what you guys are doing there. It's nice to hear all those things. Very flattering. I have a lot of respect for you as a coach, and it means a lot for you to say that. So going forward here, definitely, you know, something I'll have to think about, and appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, Ralph.
Hi, Taylor. This is Kim Pegula. I just wanted to also just chime in. There's, you know, obviously Kevin may not know him. He's our new GM this year. But I think one of the reasons that we brought Kevin in, just so you know, that Terry and I, we've known Kevin for over 9 years in a variety of roles with us. Kevin and Coach have a great relationship, and they have the same vision, same as Terry and I do. It's really important, and we feel really confident we got the right combination here.
I know we don't know each other, but one thing I can promise you is that I'm going to be open and honest and get to know the players on a personal level and ask questions and have you guys like yourself and the leadership group as part of the process with me and the coaching staff.
And as you know by our actions, we're very committed to Buffalo, this community, Western New York. So we are firmly rooted here in our community and plan on doing so for a long time.
No, I appreciate the time. Buffalo was a team that, before you guys even reached out, Darren and I had briefly chatted about, and you know, first and foremost, Ralph and Jack being there would be something that I would think about and I would mull over. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate the time.
We appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I did feel really good about it after, because I felt that we were able to represent the organization, from Terry and Kim, myself and Ralph, philosophically, you know, what we're looking to do here and how and why we felt Taylor would be a good fit to that. And I do believe Ralph called me right away after that to quickly circle up with me. Oh, there's Ralph calling me. Ralph.
How'd you feel?
I feel good. I genuinely feel that it's real, that this is something that he would be interested in.
Right away when I said we have the 1 o'clock slot, I said we're in the top 3. And I think that shows that it's serious.
I felt that we had taken a good, you know, first step there, and I didn't know the timing from there. Then it was going to be, you know, you certainly don't want to ever pressure anyone and say, well, what's next? Just kind of let it play out from there. I don't know where we go from here. If we wait to see what Darren Ferris comes back to me and says, let's have a conversation. Because the next conversation, if it's serious with Taylor, is what offer we're putting on the table. I was trying to give it a few minutes, and I was going to text Darren, just say, hey, let me know next steps. Yeah, just keep me posted regarding next steps with.
Yeah, say policy.
Halsey. He's already our guy.
Yeah.
But we're in a tough spot with Taylor, because we don't know what our next steps. I've reached out to the agent, he hasn't gotten back to me. One of the agents in the group, they didn't think that we were at the top of the list.
Taylor wrote me on his own, which is kind of interesting. Like, if we weren't in it at all, he probably wouldn't have texted me again today.
I just can't get a read on this situation. Like,
Did they give you a time frame at all?
no, we can't sit around and not make our team better if we're not in the mix seriously. You know what I mean? That's puts us in a challenging spot. It's Hall's agent. Hey, Darren.
One reason for our call is just curious to what your thought is or what your appetite is here, contract-wise.
Like I said in the beginning that I just don't see us interested in doing anything long-term. We'd want to do something with Taylor on a short deal. We'd give him an opportunity to either stay with us and go long-term then or back into the marketplace.
Is it Taylor's objective to sign a shorter deal?
No, but it's not. He's not closing the door on any. I mean, help me understand. Do you need him to be in Buffalo and to understand how he fits?
Yeah, good question. No, it's just where we're at, you know, to be honest, just with what's going on in the world and, you know, the uncertainty moving forward, and just that's really it. It has nothing to do. We think he'll be a culture addition to our locker room, not any concerns. It's more just the world we're living in right now, to be honest.
I'll present it to him, and if there's some change there, I can get back to you. Okay, bud?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Now we wait. You know, to me, I was comfortable, but, you know, not really knowing where the next step would be. The good news is there was a lot going on that day. You didn't have a lot of time to just sit and stare at your phone. There's other priorities that we had, too, to make sure that we were in on certain phone calls and being prepared for certain situations. Hey, Jared, Kevyn Adams from the Sabres calling. Checking in on Cody Eakin. You know, we're looking for that type of player, and Reader will do 700 mark. Reader's taking it. Reader's in.
Irwin, I think we can get. I don't know what's going to happen.
Do you want to try to get Irwin? I'm going to make the offer now. Are you good? Yep. We're definitely interested. Let's just stay close on it. Did we get Irwin done?
Yep.
Done?
Done.
Matt Irwin and Tobias Reader were guys that we had done work on before leading up to free agency, just to be prepared if they were there, with the hope of getting Taylor and not knowing when or how that call might come back. We had to stay disciplined in our other negotiations. But, you know, as you're having other conversations, you're thinking about that. Time is it? 7. I think we give it a little bit longer, see if anything pops, and then come back in the morning. I think that Friday night, I did feel good based on our conversation with Taylor that we would be circling back the next day, far from, you know, where I felt good to say, okay, we're going to get Taylor Hall, but I felt good that at least I knew we would be having more conversation. Saturday morning, early, we were back in the office. I remember the day just moved fast. Didn't sleep a whole lot, and, you know, I just was thinking a lot about what our team could look like. What would it mean to this franchise if someone with Taylor's ability and what he's done in the game would commit to being a Buffalo Sabre? You know, check my phone 1,000 times to make sure that the ringer was on, but you know, you're just waiting at that point. And the phone rang. Hey, Darren.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Huge news in the hockey world. Taylor Hall, the newest Buffalo Sabre.
I cannot wait to see Taylor Hall and Jack Eichel go up and down the ice.
I never in a million years thought that the Sabres would actually have a shot at Taylor Hall. What a signing for the Sabres.
Taylor Hall scores! What a shot!
Taylor was open-minded to doing something that he felt was the best thing for him in his career at that time, with the people that he wanted to be around, for him to, you know, really have those conversations with us and Ralph in particular and talk about a roster and look at where we are.
I had different conversations with other teams throughout the day and some back and forth, and it was more my FaceTime with Ralph yesterday where he's like, listen, I'm in a win now situation. He's not in it for a rebuild. He's in it to win and to get better right away.
Well, it was an easy conversation because I just had to tell him the truth. The uniqueness of the market of Buffalo, the passion that I can feel here,
and the opportunity that we have as we grow this into a sustainable winning organization.
You know, I could just see it in his face that he really wanted me there, and he got me hooked, right?
Adding Taylor Hall is a sign from the Pegulas all the way through Kevyn Adams and the coaching staff and the organization that we are doing all we can to win now. That we are doing all we can to be competitive now.
On a one-year contract, I think both sides are eager to see how this works out, and there's obviously a lot of possibilities for the future. Honestly, the best thing for both sides is that this goes really well, and I'm a Sabre for a long time.
The amount of work that was put in by the staff, around the clock, preparing for what we went through with the draft and free agency, and so many different types of things were being done by amazing people. I'm so appreciative and proud of the work that was done. We have a long way to go. We have a lot of hard work in front of us. I think we've put ourselves in a position where we all feel that our roster has been upgraded, but now you have to go earn it, and hopefully success will follow.